Have you ever wondered why relationships often become difficult despite the love between two people? What if the key to happiness isn't about changing others, but about understanding the deeper truths of human interaction? In this video, we'll explore 6 secrets based on Buddhist wisdom that can help you build a more peaceful, fulfilling relationship. These principles will give you the tools to make every relationship, whether with your partner, friends, or family, not just functional, but full of love, kindness, and trust. Let's dive into these teachings from the Buddha that can transform how you approach every connection in your life. Maintaining a happy relationship is challenging because of the differences between people. Relationships struggle when we expect others to think, act, or behave the same way as us. The truth is, we are all different, and once we accept this reality, we can develop better understanding and compassion for one another. 1. Practice physical kindness. Buddha teaches that kindness should first be expressed physically. Often, we think grand gestures are needed to show love, but it's the small, everyday acts that build a strong foundation in relationships. Imagine a husband and wife where both share the workload equally, perhaps helping each other with household chores, or simply taking a moment to assist the other without being asked. It's these little acts of bodily kindness that show appreciation and create mutual respect. Physical kindness isn't about how much you can give, but how present you are in supporting your partner's well-being. In my experience, physical gestures of kindness are often underrated. Many of us get caught up in life's busyness and forget that it's not always the grand vacations or expensive gifts that make relationships thrive. It's the day-to-day care we show. Helping a friend move or making your partner's coffee in the morning can communicate love far more than words ever could. One real-life example comes from a couple I know who have been married for 30 years. The husband told me, "It's not the big things that keep us together. It's the fact that she folds my clothes just the way I like them." Small acts of kindness build a sense of security. 2. Practice verbal kindness. Words are incredibly powerful, and Buddha emphasizes the importance of speaking kindly. When we use gentle, caring words, we create an environment of trust and positivity. A single kind word can make someone's day brighter, while a harsh word can leave lasting scars. I've noticed that we often underestimate the impact of our words. One time, I was in a restaurant and overheard a couple at a neighboring table. The woman said something as simple as, "I really appreciate how hard you work for our family." And I could immediately see how her words uplifted her partner. It made me reflect on how much kindness costs, nothing at all, and yet its effects are priceless. We should remind ourselves to consciously speak kind words, even when it's tempting to snap or criticize. Remember, kind words build and harsh ones destroy. 3. Practice mental kindness. Buddha said that our thoughts lead to our actions. If we want to be kind in action and words, we must start with our minds. By cultivating kind thoughts, we naturally spread that kindness to others in everything we do. In our modern world, where stress is high and social media often highlights negativity, it's crucial to be mindful of our inner dialogue. I once had a friend who struggled with self-doubt and negativity. It wasn't until she started practicing gratitude and thinking positive thoughts that her relationships improved. She became kinder to herself, and that kindness radiated to others. I often practice mindfulness to check my inner thoughts, ensuring I nurture kindness and compassion internally so that my actions and words align. 4. Share without reservation. Sharing is a vital aspect of any relationship. Buddha taught monks to share everything they received with their community, creating unity. In relationships, sharing experiences, joys, and even challenges fosters deeper connections. It's not just about material sharing, but about sharing moments, stories, and dreams. I recall a story about a couple who made it a habit to share the highlights of their day with each other, no matter how small. It brought them closer because they were always involved in each other's lives. Sharing is like weaving a thread of connection that gets stronger with each stitch. When we share, we show our partner or friend that we trust them and value their presence in our life. 5. Be virtuous. Virtue is the foundation of trust in relationships. In Buddhism, following the 5 precepts, non-harming, not stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, honesty, and avoiding intoxication, ensures a life of moral integrity. For relationships, this boils down to being trustworthy, loyal, and honest. Trust is the bedrock of any relationship, whether romantic or platonic. I once knew a couple that struggled with infidelity issues early on in their marriage. After they rebuilt their trust through counseling and a commitment to honesty, their bond became stronger than before. The key takeaway here is that loyalty builds a deep sense of security, which is vital for long-lasting relationships. 6. Share a common goal. Finally, Buddha teaches that a relationship must have a shared purpose. In the case of monks, it's spiritual enlightenment. For couples, friends, or families, this might mean working toward a common goal, whether it's building a home, raising children, or supporting each other's dreams. When both partners work together towards a shared vision, the relationship thrives. Think about couples who run a business together, or families who save for a shared goal, like traveling or building a house. This common purpose keeps everyone focused and moving in the same direction, reducing conflicts. In my own life, I once saw an inspiring example of a couple who started a small bakery together. Their shared goal wasn't just about making a profit, but about spreading love and joy through their food. They poured their hearts into every pastry they made, and that shared vision united them even through the toughest days. All relationships face challenges, but the ones that last are built on mutual respect, kindness, and shared goals. If you integrate these 6 Buddhist principles into your life, you'll see a remarkable shift in your relationships. Remember, it's the daily acts of kindness, trust, and a shared purpose that will help you navigate even the hardest times. As the quote goes, "All relationships go through bad times, but the real ones get through bad times together." By applying these teachings, you will cultivate love, compassion, and understanding, allowing your relationships to flourish. Namo Buddhaya. Imagine starting a practice that has the power to transform your mind, reduce stress, and bring peace into your daily life. Sounds wonderful, right? However, the real challenge is not in starting, but in making meditation a consistent part of your routine. For many, sitting down to meditate once or twice is easy, but making it a daily habit seems like climbing a mountain. If you're struggling with the same, don't worry. You are not alone. In today's video, we're going to share 4 essential meditation tips that will help you stay on track, even when it feels tough. We'll dive deep into these practical strategies to help you meditate daily and truly experience the benefits of this powerful practice. Let me tell you right away, these aren't just generic tips you hear everywhere. Each one comes from real-life experiences that have helped countless people make meditation a joyful and sustainable habit. By the end of this video, you'll not only know how to keep going, but you'll also find yourself actually looking forward to your next meditation session. So, let's dive in. Tip 1. Lower your expectations. One of the most common reasons people give up on meditation is that they set their expectations too high. It's natural to think that the moment we close our eyes, we will be surrounded by peace, stillness, and clarity. But guess what? It doesn't work like that. Meditation is not a magic wand that instantly quiets the mind. Think of it as a gradual process, like training a baby to walk. Here's a real-life example. A friend of mine started meditating with the expectation that she would feel immense peace in just a few days. However, what she experienced was quite the opposite. Restlessness, an overflow of thoughts, and even frustration. Why? Because she had unrealistic expectations. I encouraged her to shift her mindset, to sit with the idea that even 0.01% progress is still progress. Over time, her frustration faded, and she began to enjoy each meditation session for what it was, a small step forward in her journey. This shift in her approach was key to making meditation a daily habit. The takeaway here is simple. Lower your expectations and embrace the gradual process of change. Don't look for a perfect, peaceful session every time. Instead, celebrate the small moments when you feel a bit more focused or a little less distracted. Over time, these moments will compound into profound transformation. Tip 2. Take time. You have all the time in the world. Another major challenge is feeling rushed. In today's fast-paced world, we often try to squeeze meditation into a jam-packed schedule, which leads to anxiety about finishing it quickly. But here's the secret to a successful meditation practice. Make time and truly feel like you have all the time in the world. Think of meditation like a peaceful retreat for your mind. One way to create this sense of freedom is to set a timer before you start meditating. Why? Because when you know that you have, say, 10 or 15 minutes solely dedicated to meditation, you can relax and focus without worrying about other tasks. This free time creates a mental space where you can really focus on your breath, body, and mind without the pressure of rushing to the next activity. Here's a personal example. I used to rush through my meditation sessions, constantly thinking about the next thing I had to do. But after setting a timer and giving myself permission to relax fully during that time, I found that my practice became much more enjoyable and effective. I could truly immerse myself in the present moment, knowing that my to-do list could wait. The lesson here? Take your time. Even if you only have 5 minutes, let that time be yours and yours alone. Don't think about what's next on your agenda. Just be present. Tip 3. Let it come and let it go. Distractions are a part of meditation. No matter how experienced you become, your mind will wander. But here's the trick. Don't fight it. The key is to observe these distractions and let them pass without getting caught up in them. Think of your thoughts like cars passing by on the street. You don't need to run after them or stop them. You just watch them come and go. The same applies to meditation. When a thought arises, simply recognize it and let it float away. Trying to control or suppress your thoughts will only make them more persistent. But when you observe them without judgment, they lose their power. Let me share an experience. During one of my meditation sessions, I kept getting distracted by thoughts of an upcoming project. Instead of getting frustrated, I decided to just observe the thoughts and let them pass, like cars on the road. Once I embraced this mindset, I was able to return to my breath with much more ease. It's like the traffic metaphor. Just let the thoughts come and go without attaching to them. Remember, your goal is not to eliminate distractions entirely, but to learn how to coexist with them peacefully. Over time, this practice will allow you to deepen your meditation experience. Tip 4. Be gentle with yourself. Finally, it's crucial to be kind to yourself throughout your meditation journey. Think of yourself as a baby learning to walk. Babies don't get frustrated when they fall, they simply try again. We should treat ourselves with the same kindness and patience. Sometimes, you may feel like you're not making any progress, but as long as you're consistent and enjoy the process, meditation will gradually bring significant changes to your life. Instead of forcing yourself to be perfect or judging yourself for wandering thoughts, approach your practice with gentleness and compassion. Consider this. A beginner meditator I know was always hard on himself, constantly criticizing his lack of progress. I reminded him that meditation is a lifelong journey, and that the benefits often come in subtle ways. When he finally let go of his need for perfection and started enjoying the process, his experience transformed. He began to meditate every day with ease, and over time, his mental clarity and emotional well-being improved drastically. The takeaway? Be kind to yourself. Progress will come, but only if you give yourself the space to grow at your own pace. Now, let me share a story of someone who applied these 4 tips and saw incredible results. A close friend of mine, who had struggled with consistency, decided to implement these strategies into her daily routine. Initially, she struggled with distractions, high expectations, and impatience. But as she started to lower her expectations, give herself time, observe distractions, and be kind to herself, she found herself meditating every day, without it feeling like a chore. Her life transformed in subtle but meaningful ways. She became calmer, more focused, and developed a sense of inner peace that had been missing before. This didn't happen overnight. It was the result of steady, patient practice. By incorporating these 4 mindsets, she found herself not only meditating regularly, but enjoying every session. In conclusion, the key to maintaining a consistent meditation practice lies in the mindset you bring to it. By lowering your expectations, making time, embracing distractions, and being gentle with yourself, you can turn meditation into a daily habit that nourishes your mind and spirit. Progress may be slow, but trust the process and give yourself permission to grow at your own pace. So, next time you sit down to meditate, remember, This practice is a journey, not a destination. Celebrate the small wins, enjoy the quiet moments, and over time, you'll experience the profound benefits of meditation in every area of your life. Take these tips, integrate them into your practice, and see how meditation transforms your day-to-day life. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. Have you ever noticed a lizard quietly roaming your house, disappearing almost as suddenly as it appeared? At first glance, it might seem like just another small creature crossing your path, but what if this simple reptile carried a deeper spiritual meaning? According to ancient Buddhist teachings, the lizard isn't merely an intruder, but a spiritual messenger sent to impart crucial lessons about life, transformation, and personal growth. In this video, we delve into the Zen wisdom surrounding the lizard, exploring 7 essential lessons that can reshape the way you view change, resilience, and gratitude. Stay with us to the end, and we'll reveal a secret that could profoundly alter your perspective on personal growth and help you live a more meaningful life. The tale begins with a group of pilgrims walking through a peaceful Zen garden, lush with blooming lotus flowers and framed by the delicate light filtering through bamboo leaves. These pilgrims have gathered to seek the wisdom of a venerable monk named Neri, hoping to uncover the spiritual significance of the lizard. Among the pilgrims, a young woman, burning with curiosity, asks Neri about the deeper meaning behind the lizard's presence. The monk responds with a gentle smile, explaining that the lizard symbolizes transformation, a theme deeply rooted in Buddhist teachings. Lesson 1. Embracing change and transformation. As Neri explains, the first lesson the lizard offers is the importance of transformation. Just as the lizard sheds its skin, humans too must embrace change. We often resist life's inevitable shifts, fearing the uncertainty that comes with them. But just as the lizard doesn't hesitate to let go of its old skin, we must trust in the process of transformation, knowing that change allows us to evolve into the best versions of ourselves. Transformation is a constant in life, and many of us resist it because of fear. Personally, I've found that accepting change as an opportunity for growth allows us to live more freely. The fear of the unknown shouldn't stop us from embracing life's changes. Instead, it should push us forward. Lesson 2. Adaptability and resilience. The lizard teaches us adaptability, effortlessly shifting colors to blend into its surroundings. Similarly, we too must learn to adapt to life's circumstances, using creativity and resilience to face challenges. Life doesn't always go as planned, and the ability to adjust and overcome adversity is a powerful skill. Think of a time when you faced a major challenge, perhaps a career setback or a personal loss. It's in those moments that resilience is born. Just as the lizard navigates different terrains with ease, we too can find ways to survive and thrive in even the most difficult situations. Lesson 3. Trusting the protective force. Neri explains that in many cultures, the lizard is viewed as a symbol of protection and good luck. Its presence in your home serves as a reminder that you are guided and protected by the universe. By cultivating a mindset of trust, you open yourself to the protective forces around you. In moments of fear and uncertainty, trusting that you are being guided can offer great comfort. Whether through meditation or simply pausing to reflect on life's bigger picture, tuning into this protective force can ease your mind and heart. I often find that mindfulness practices help me reconnect with this universal energy, reminding me that I am never truly alone in my journey. Lesson 4. Patience and Observation. The lizard is also a master of patience. Observing its surroundings carefully before making a move, it teaches us the importance of slowing down and observing life before acting. Patience allows us to make wiser decisions, and careful observation helps us understand the world more deeply. Example: a personal experience I often recall is when I was rushing through decisions without taking the time to fully consider my options. I realized that, much like the lizard, by simply pausing and observing my environment, I was able to make far better choices. This is a skill we all need to cultivate, especially in today's fast-paced world. Lesson 5. Present moment awareness. Living in the present moment is one of the most powerful teachings the lizard imparts. Too often, we dwell on the past or worry about the future, neglecting the beauty of the present. The lizard reminds us to stay present, enjoying life's simple moments and appreciating what we have right now. Personally, practicing mindfulness has helped me immensely in grounding myself in the present. When we stop letting our minds drift to what ifs and what was, we unlock the joy and peace that only the present moment can provide. Lesson 6. Gratitude. Neri reveals that gratitude is another essential lesson the lizard brings. Gratitude opens the door to abundance. By acknowledging the good in our lives, we invite even more blessings. The lizard teaches us to be thankful, not just for grand gestures, but for the small, often overlooked moments that enrich our lives. Every morning, I start my day by writing down 3 things I'm grateful for. This simple practice has shifted my perspective, making me more aware of the abundance I already have. I encourage everyone to try this habit. It truly rewires your mindset toward positivity. Lesson 7. Balance and harmony. Finally, the lizard shows us the importance of balance. Just as it moves with grace and precision, we too must find a balance between work and rest, action and contemplation. Inner harmony is essential for a peaceful, fulfilling life. Finding balance is a daily challenge for most of us. Between the demands of work, relationships, and personal growth, it's easy to feel off-kilter. However, learning to listen to our bodies and minds and taking time to recharge can help us maintain the delicate balance that leads to true peace. The 8th secret: universal connection. As Neri shares his final lesson, he reveals the lizard's ultimate secret. We are all connected, part of a vast universal fabric. Every living being, large or small, plays a crucial role in the grand scheme of life. When we treat all creatures with respect and compassion, we open the door to profound healing, not just for ourselves, but for the entire world. The lizard teaches us that our actions ripple out into the universe. By living in harmony with all beings, we align ourselves with the natural order of life, opening the door to deeper healing and transformation. In the end, the lizard serves as a profound guide, reminding us of the transformative power of change, adaptability, patience, and gratitude. It invites us to live fully in the present, to trust the protective forces around us, and to find balance in our everyday lives. More than just a tiny creature scurrying through our homes, the lizard is a spiritual symbol, urging us to live a life full of joy, meaning, and connection. By embracing these lessons, we not only honor the wisdom of the lizard, but also unlock the path to a richer, more fulfilling life. Namo Buddhaya. Do we really exist? It's a simple question, yet deeply profound. Most of us never stop to think about it, But what if I told you that this question lies at the very heart of one of the most powerful concepts in Buddhism, anatta, or no self? While this question seems simple on the surface, the way the Buddha approached it is far more enlightening than a simple yes or no answer. This video will take you through the fascinating conversation around existence, the self, and how the Buddha's teachings can change the way we understand our very being. Imagine asking the Buddha directly, "Do I really exist?" Interestingly, the Buddha remained silent when asked such a question. Not because he lacked an answer, but because responding with a definitive yes or no would have led to misconceptions and problems. For instance, if we say we don't exist, how do we explain karma and rebirth? And if we say we do exist, does that mean we are eternal, untouched by change? The Buddha avoided either extreme, instead emphasizing the middle path, a key theme in his teachings. The Buddha's wisdom in remaining silent reflects something profound. Answering questions about existence in black and white terms leads to extremes. On one hand, saying we don't exist leads to nihilism, the belief that nothing has meaning, and on the other hand, saying we do exist leads to eternalism, the belief in an unchanging, permanent self. The Buddha's middle path teaches us to explore the truth between these two. Neither extreme brings true understanding, but by examining the nature of the self, we come closer to understanding reality. Buddhism teaches us that what we think of as I is not a permanent, unchanging entity. Instead, we often identify with things like our body, mind, senses, and experiences. The Buddha didn't say you don't exist, nor did he say you do. Instead, he asked us to look at what we consider self. Is it your eyes, ears, thoughts, or feelings? But these are all constantly changing. What we identify with today may be completely different tomorrow. This change, this impermanence, is the essence of anatta. In life, we often want to hold on to good feelings, pleasure, and happiness. We desire permanence. But the reality is, everything changes. A pleasant experience eventually fades, and when it does, we suffer. The Buddha highlighted that this constant flux is part of existence. When we cling to things that change, we invite suffering. Even painful experiences, which we fear will last forever, are impermanent. Anatta teaches us that by recognizing the ever-changing nature of life, we can learn to let go and experience greater peace. Consider this. You may think of yourself as the person you were 10 years ago. But are you really? Your body has changed. Your thoughts and feelings have evolved, and your life experiences have shaped you in new ways. Yet, we cling to the idea that we are the same self. This is an illusion. The Buddha teaches that understanding the transient nature of who we are helps us accept change without suffering. One might argue, if we don't have a permanent self, why bother doing good or avoiding harm? What's the point if everything is always changing? The Buddha's teachings on anatta do not negate the importance of morality. Instead, they remind us that our actions still have consequences, even if our identity is not fixed. Karma plays a crucial role in this, linking our actions with their results. Understanding anatta helps us act with compassion and kindness, knowing that clinging to a fixed self only leads to unnecessary suffering. The core of the Buddha's teaching on anatta is not about denying our existence, but about seeing that the self we cling to is not permanent. We are a collection of ever-changing processes. Recognizing this helps us let go of suffering. It shifts our perspective from clinging to what we believe is I to embracing the fluid, interconnected nature of life. Understanding the concept of anatta brings profound peace. When we stop attaching ourselves to a rigid sense of self, we free ourselves from the fear of loss and the pressure of maintaining a permanent identity. The beauty of the Buddha's teachings is that they apply not only in philosophical discussions, but in everyday life. By embracing impermanence and the notion of no self, we find liberation from suffering, making our lives lighter, more compassionate, and deeply connected to the ever-changing world around us. To summarize, the Buddha didn't deny our existence, nor did he affirm it. Instead, he showed us a path between extremes, guiding us to recognize that the self we cling to is always in flux. By realizing this, we free ourselves from the suffering caused by attachment and open ourselves to a deeper, more compassionate way of living. Namo Buddhaya. Namo Buddhaya. We live in a world where appearance often dictates how we're perceived. Billions are spent on skincare, cosmetics, and treatments, all in the pursuit of beauty. We scroll through social media, marveling at flawless faces and perfect bodies. But is this really where beauty begins and ends? Buddhism offers a different perspective. According to the teachings of the Supreme Buddha, true beauty isn't just skin deep. It radiates from within, and it all starts with a simple practice: loving kindness. Imagine if instead of spending money on expensive treatments, we could transform our outer appearance through inner peace. Sounds unbelievable, right? But there's ancient wisdom that backs this idea. The Buddha himself revealed that practicing kindness could actually improve not only our mood, but our physical appearance as well. This is no mere myth. There's a deeper connection between our thoughts and the way we look, and I'm excited to explore that connection with you today. Most people focus only on skin-deep beauty. That's understandable. After all, we are visual creatures. But think about it. How long does outer beauty last? 50 years, maybe 60 if we're lucky. Time has its way with all of us. Wrinkles, gray hair, and other signs of aging are inevitable. But what if there's a form of beauty that defies time? The Supreme Buddha identified two types of beauty. The first, and most commonly pursued, is physical beauty. This is what most of us chase. But the second is much more enduring. It's the beauty of the heart. Inner beauty, cultivated through kindness, lasts longer than any cream or surgery could promise. Even better, it's free. We've all met people who may not be considered conventionally attractive, yet they have a certain glow about them. Their faces light up when they smile, and their kindness radiates from their eyes. This is the result of cultivating loving kindness. It's a form of beauty that transcends age, race, and cultural ideals. Consider a time when you've been extremely stressed or anxious. Didn't it show on your face? Maybe your skin broke out. or you noticed dark circles under your eyes. Our thoughts have a significant impact on our outer appearance. When we harbor negative emotions, anger, jealousy, or hatred, it manifests physically. On the other hand, when we cultivate kindness and peace, it reflects positively. For example, there's a well-documented phenomenon where people who meditate regularly, especially on loving kindness, often exhibit healthier, more vibrant skin. This isn't just some mystical concept. It's backed by science. Loving kindness meditation lowers cortisol, the stress hormone that can wreak havoc on our skin and overall appearance. By reducing stress and increasing positive emotions, we can create a healthier, more attractive version of ourselves. Here's a real-world example. Think of someone who constantly carries a scowl on their face. Over time, their facial muscles adapt to this negativity, and their expressions reflect it. Contrast this with someone who practices kindness daily, someone who smiles often and expresses joy. Their facial muscles naturally soften, making them more approachable and, in many cases, more attractive. So, how exactly does one practice loving kindness, and how can it lead to a more beautiful life? The beauty secret revealed by the Buddha is not found in any external product. It lies within the mind. It begins with developing a mindset of love and kindness toward oneself and others. The practice of loving kindness meditation involves sitting quietly and focusing on generating feelings of compassion and goodwill. It starts with yourself. May I be happy? May I be healthy? May I be free from suffering? Gradually, you expand this circle of kindness to include loved ones, acquaintances, and even those you might consider enemies. This practice works wonders not only for your mental health, but also for your appearance. As your heart becomes more peaceful, your face reflects this inner state. There's an unmistakable softness that comes with inner peace, a radiance that no amount of money can buy. The science behind loving kindness and beauty research shows that loving kindness meditation doesn't just change your mind, it changes your body. Studies conducted at various universities have found that people who regularly engage in this practice experience lower levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. This reduced stress leads to lower cortisol levels, which can positively affect skin health, weight, and even immune function. For example, a study published in the journal Psychoneuroendocrinology demonstrated that individuals who practiced loving kindness meditation for 8 weeks showed a significant reduction in the biological markers of aging. This was compared to a control group that did not practice meditation, whose stress levels and signs of aging remained unchanged. If you're seeking that elusive fountain of youth, perhaps the answer isn't in a jar of cream, but rather in your ability to nurture positive thoughts and emotions. Real beauty is a reflection of inner peace. One of the most remarkable transformations I have seen comes from a close friend of mine who struggled with low self-esteem and body image issues for years. She spent a fortune on skincare products, makeup, and treatments, yet she was never satisfied with how she looked. Then, she discovered the practice of loving kindness meditation. Over time, as she practiced this meditation daily, something magical happened. She began to look different. It wasn't that her skin changed overnight, but her attitude did. She smiled more, carried herself with more confidence, and her facial expressions softened. Her friends began commenting on how radiant she looked, and people at work started asking her what skincare routine she was using. The truth was, it wasn't a product that had transformed her. It was her mind. Summary lesson: Cultivate inner peace to reflect outer beauty. The takeaway here is simple yet profound. Real beauty comes from within. While it's perfectly fine to take care of your skin and appearance, remember that these things are temporary. The practice of loving kindness, however, has the power to create lasting beauty that transcends age and outward appearance. In a world obsessed with physical perfection, the Buddha's teachings remind us that true beauty is a reflection of inner peace. By cultivating kindness, we not only improve our emotional well-being, but also radiate a glow that no product can replicate. So, next time you look in the mirror, ask yourself, am I nurturing the beauty of my heart as well as my skin? Final thoughts. A timeless beauty secret. As you go about your daily life, remember the simple yet powerful secret that the Buddha shared. Beauty is born from kindness. Whether you're stressed, overwhelmed, or simply searching for a way to enhance your appearance, start with your heart. Practice loving kindness, and watch as it transforms not just your mind, but your entire being. True beauty isn't found in the latest trend or product. It's found in your ability to love and be kind. Let this ancient wisdom guide you toward a more beautiful, peaceful, and fulfilling life. Namo Buddhaya. In today's fast-paced world, many of us feel overwhelmed, constantly bombarded with information and distractions. The never-ending stream of notifications, social media posts, and daily responsibilities can create a storm in our minds. If you've ever felt that chaos pulling you in different directions, you're not alone. But imagine this. What if you could find a calm, serene space within yourself, even in the middle of all the noise? This isn't just a dream, but a very real possibility that lies within our reach. In this video, we'll explore powerful techniques to help you find calm and peace, not just during quiet moments, but in the middle of life's chaos. Understanding the source of calmness. It's not external. One of the most important lessons in Buddhism is that calmness and peace don't come from external circumstances. Many people believe that they'll only feel peaceful once they have enough money, time, or when everything falls into place. However, the reality is that inner peace is a skill you develop, much like training a muscle. It comes from within. No matter where you are or what is happening around you, the ability to stay calm is something you can cultivate. Think of your mind like the sky. Sometimes it's clear and sometimes it's filled with clouds. The clouds represent your thoughts, emotions, and reactions to the world around you. But no matter how many clouds appear, the sky itself never changes. It remains vast, untouched, and serene. The key is to realize that you are the sky, not the clouds. Just as the sky watches the clouds pass, you can watch your thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them. Reacting to thoughts. Why it disrupts our peace. A common mistake people make is identifying with their thoughts. They believe, I am my thoughts, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Thoughts are like visitors. They come and go. When you realize this, you can create space between yourself and your thoughts. For example, when an angry thought comes to mind, rather than immediately reacting, you can pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, is this worth reacting to? R. Reagan, 11 October 2024 at 14:07:39. In Buddhism, this concept of observing thoughts without reacting is essential to maintaining inner peace. It's like watching traffic on the road. You don't run after every car you see, right? You simply observe. The same approach can be taken with your thoughts. Observe them without attachment. This simple practice can transform how you experience life, reducing stress and emotional turmoil. Specific example: practicing non-reactivity. Let's take an example from everyday life. Imagine you're at work and a colleague makes a frustrating comment. Normally, your first reaction might be anger or defensiveness. But what if, instead of reacting immediately, you paused and noticed the anger arising in you? You could observe it like a cloud passing through the sky. You would realize that this emotion doesn't define you. It's simply a temporary feeling. By not reacting, you maintain your peace and respond more mindfully. Slowing down the body to calm the mind. Now, let's dive into a practical technique that can help you slow down your racing thoughts. Have you ever noticed that when you're stressed, your body tends to move faster? Maybe your breathing quickens, or you start fidgeting. The mind and body are deeply interconnected. When your mind is in chaos, your body mirrors that state, becoming tense and agitated. One effective way to counter this is by deliberately slowing down your physical movements. Whether you're walking, eating, or even typing at your computer, try to move more slowly and mindfully. By doing so, you send a signal to your mind that it's okay to slow down too. This practice not only calms the body, but also helps to ease mental stress. Example of body-mind connection. For instance, try this simple exercise. While walking, pay attention to each step. Walk a little slower than usual and notice how it feels. With each step, take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. This simple act of mindfulness can bring an immediate sense of calm. The more you practice it, the easier it becomes to bring calmness into your daily routine. Breathing meditation. Condensing your thoughts. Another key Buddhist practice for calming the mind is breathing meditation. This technique is simple but incredibly powerful. When your mind is full of scattered thoughts, focusing on your breath helps condense and simplify your mental activity. It's like narrowing your attention from a wide-angle view to a single point. All you need to do is focus on your in-breath and out-breath. As you inhale, mentally note in, and as you exhale, mentally note out. This awareness of the breath anchors you to the present moment, allowing the chaotic thoughts to naturally settle down. Over time, you'll find that you become less reactive to distractions and more centered. Example: applying breathing meditation in stressful situations. Let's say you're in a high-pressure meeting at work, and your mind is racing with anxious thoughts. Instead of getting swept up in the stress, you can take a few moments to focus on your breath. Inhale deeply, note in, and then exhale slowly, note out. By doing this, you ground yourself in the present moment, making it easier to stay calm and composed. Judging your thoughts. Why it disrupts inner peace. Another common habit that disrupts our peace is judging our thoughts. We label them as good or bad, and this judgment often leads to further emotional reactions. In Buddhism, we are encouraged to let go of this judgment and simply observe thoughts without attaching labels to them. Imagine sitting by a busy road. Cars, bikes, and buses pass by, but you're not chasing after them or blocking their way. You're just observing. The same approach can be applied to thoughts. Let them pass by without getting caught up in them. This practice of non-judgmental awareness is the key to maintaining peace in the midst of life's challenges. Example: watching thoughts like traffic. Let's say you're trying to meditate, and thoughts keep popping into your head. Instead of getting frustrated or labeling them as bad, just notice them, like watching cars pass by. The thoughts will come and go, but you remain peaceful and unattached. Conclusion. Summarizing the lessons. In conclusion, cultivating calmness and peace in your life doesn't require changing your external circumstances. It's about changing your inner response to those circumstances. By slowing down your body, practicing breathing meditation, and observing your thoughts without reacting or judging, you can create a deep sense of peace, even in the middle of chaos. Remember, you are not your thoughts. Like the sky watching clouds pass by, you can watch your thoughts come and go, without letting them disturb your inner serenity. Peacefulness is a skill, one that, with practice, you can master. May you all find peace and calm within, no matter what storms may arise. Namo Buddhaya. Imagine living a life where no matter how good or well-intentioned your actions are, people still find reasons to criticize you. Sounds familiar, right? Whether you're a high achiever, a kind-hearted person, or someone who's simply doing their best, criticism is inevitable. So, what should we do when people criticize us? How can we stay strong and not let their words bring us down? Stick around, because today we'll explore the profound Buddhist wisdom that teaches us how to navigate criticism with grace and peace. Buddhism teaches us that criticism is an unavoidable part of life. Whether you're doing something positive or groundbreaking, there will always be someone who disapproves. The Buddha himself encountered criticism throughout his journey. This is because people perceive things through their personal biases, sometimes leading them to misunderstand or even feel envious of your actions. We all want to be liked and accepted, but the truth is, no matter how noble our intentions, not everyone will understand or appreciate what we do. Criticism often says more about the critic than the person being criticized. People's comments are filtered through their own experiences, beliefs, and insecurities. That's why one of the first steps to dealing with criticism is understanding that it's not always a reflection of who you are, but of how the critic sees the world. In Buddhism, criticism can generally be divided into two types: constructive and negative. Constructive criticism comes from a place of care. These people genuinely want to see you grow and succeed. They might point out flaws or areas for improvement to help you become better. On the other hand, negative criticism often stems from misunderstanding, jealousy, or resentment. These critics seek to tear you down rather than build you up. It's crucial to differentiate between these two types of criticism. If someone offers feedback with love and sincerity, we should be open to it. However, if the criticism is toxic and baseless, rooted in envy or personal agendas, we need to protect ourselves from absorbing those negative energies. This brings to mind the old saying, "Not every opinion deserves your attention." Ask yourself, what is the intent behind the criticism? Is it to help you improve, or is it to make the critic feel better about themselves? Once you can discern this, your reactions become much clearer and more controlled. A famous Buddhist story illustrates how, no matter what you do, criticism is inevitable. During Buddha's time, a group of people visited a monastery and encountered 3 monks. The first monk was very silent and reserved, offering a few words of wisdom. The visitors criticized him, saying he didn't know anything. They then went to the second monk, who spoke in complex, profound terms. They couldn't understand him and criticized him for making things too complicated. Finally, they met the third monk, who spoke in simple, easily understood terms. Yet, they criticized him for being too simplistic. This story highlights an important truth. No matter what you do, some people will find fault. The three monks, each with different teaching styles, were all criticized for opposite reasons. This is a powerful reminder that you cannot please everyone. Whether you're too quiet, too profound, or too simple, there will always be someone who disagrees with your approach. The key lesson here is not to take these criticisms personally. It's impossible to mold yourself into something that satisfies every single person's expectations. The monks were perplexed and sought the advice of the Buddha. The Buddha taught them that whether you remain silent, speak profound truths, or keep things simple, you will always be criticized. This is the nature of the world. No one in history has escaped criticism entirely. Therefore, the Buddha encouraged the monks to focus on their inner peace and continue doing good, regardless of the criticism they received. What the Buddha teaches here is timeless wisdom. Criticism is not something we can control, but we can control how we react to it. When you know that you're doing something beneficial for yourself and others, keep going. Don't let the fear of what others might say paralyze you. There's great power in trusting your path and intentions. This lesson has profound applications in today's world, where criticism, especially online, is rampant. With social media, it's easy to be bombarded with opinions from strangers, but their words should not dictate our self-worth or direction. In today's digital world, criticism is often amplified. Let's take an example of a content creator who posts their work on social media. For every positive comment, there might be a negative one, questioning the quality, the intent, or even the creator's character. In such cases, the Buddhist approach becomes even more valuable. By accepting that criticism is inevitable and separating constructive feedback from baseless negativity, the content creator can maintain their peace of mind and focus on creating without constantly seeking approval. When social media influencers, for instance, receive harsh feedback, it's important for them to remember this story of the three monks. Not everyone will resonate with what they create, and that's okay. The lesson here is to remain grounded in your purpose and not let the noise of the outside world deter your inner journey. How to apply this lesson in real life. When faced with criticism, ask yourself, is this constructive? Can I learn something from it? Does it align with my goals and values? If the answer is yes, use that criticism as a stepping stone for growth. If not, let it go. Don't allow it to pull you into a spiral of self-doubt. People will always have opinions, but their opinions are not your truth. The core lesson in this video is that criticism is inevitable, and we should not let it dictate our actions. If we are doing something good for ourselves and others, we must keep going, regardless of what others say. The beauty of this teaching lies in its simplicity. It frees us from the endless cycle of seeking validation from others. When you understand that criticism is a natural part of life, you can face it without fear or anxiety. Whether you're criticized for being too quiet, too profound, or too simple, remember the monks and their story. Continue on your path with confidence and compassion, knowing that the world will always have something to say, but your peace comes from within. Namo Buddhaya.